semi-final, the men's semi-final, the 1987 Goldpin Coca Cola Classic. Big Paul Mayer from Camp Hill in Queensland takes on little Eric Miles from Hope Valley in South Australia. Your commentators are Terry Wenban and Steve Mackey.
Well, Eric Miles beat the Japanese 205 in that game. Very aggressive start. Let's see if he opens up the same way.
Not a good start. Not a good start. We've seen this a lot of times. The player gets up first, tries to be aggressive, throws the shot, and gets a bad result. Eric won't be happy with this.
No, he's not happy at all with it, and he tried to guide the ball rather than give it plenty of air and let it do its own thing down there. He's bowling with a purple angle bowling ball. It served him well in the first match, but it's got to serve him well now in this semi-final against the hot Paul Mayer.
Gets two.
And speaking of Paul Mayer, there he is, Big Paul Mayer, a co-director by trade from Camp Hill. His highest score, 290, and he was a finalist in the International South Pacific Classic in 1984 and 85. He plays B-grade warehouse cricket here in Brisbane. He's a spin bowler. We'll see how he spins this, and his spare time loves to tell a couple of yarns.
Well, a good result for Paul Mayer. That'll be a bit of a confidence booster for him there to get away with a 9, particularly when your opponent's already opened the frame. It's nice to leave an easy spare.
Terry, what about height? How much advantage, or is it an advantage, Paul Mayer's got over Eric Miles in reach and height here?
Well, actually, it's an advantage for Eric being smaller because you can get down to the lane better and you can put the ball down better. It's harder for Paul to get down.
Yes, he certainly learnt a lot about getting a bit further down on the lane in the last couple of years, and he's improved out of sight, has Paul Mayer, in the last 2 or 3 years, but he's been around the traps here in Brisbane for a long time.
He's quite a colourful character up here. Yes, he's being so tall, he has to really get down.
Oh, Paul Mayer looking to get a strike here and take an 11-pin lead in the first frame. Well, I suppose here we've got 2 of the best confidence players in the sport. A couple of very aggressive bowlers. And why wouldn't you be aggressive bowling a ball like that?
Eric Miles. Yes. All the way in, the AGC manager from Hope Valley in South Australia. The South Australia Masters champion and the Sydney Cup champion comes back the only way that great players can.
Yes, he buried that one from a great height, and, well, 11 pins the difference. Great crowd up here at Kedron. They're certainly not parochial in Queensland, not like when we play rugby league against them.
Now, this is a problem. In bowling, when you get really aggressive and you just try to be aggressive and throw the ball down the lane, this can tend to be a problem when you get bogged down. Once you start missing, you lose the ability to go back to some sort of technique to fix your problems.
Yes, there's a difference between aggression and controlled aggression, and at the moment Eric Miles doing it tough on this lane 15. He's opened twice there now, and he's only 37 in the third frame. If Paul Mayer can get up now and get a double on top of his strike already, well, he's going to be a big leader.
Yes, Steve, this is what we were talking about earlier on with the match play. If he can get up now and put in 2 strikes, he's something like 50, 60 pins up in the third frame.
Tried to baby that one a little bit. He didn't trust the shot. And it got up quite a long way behind his back, I think. A bit further than usual.
This is quite a tricky spare. Yeah, he threw that well out. well out on the lane and just didn't come back.
Well, he's gone for a different ball. It's a much harder variety. I don't think we'll see this one turn too much. He'll be bowling pretty much straight at this and probably pretty fast.
A good spare. He's happy with that.
And you're watching the 1987 Goldpin Coca Cola Classic at the end of the third frame. Paul Mayer leads Eric Miles by 23 pins. Leads by 23.
Likes to talk to himself up there, telling his hand to do the right thing, and, well, he's going to tell his mind to do it first.
Now the same sort of shot. There's the tension creeping in there. He's trying to will them over rather than bowl them over. You've really got to play your own game at him.
Well, we saw it in the women's grand final a couple of matches ago where Jeanette Baker-Flynn, our co-commentator, beat Barbara Richmond. She came up with 2 beauties in the 9th and 10th frame under pressure. Nice and relaxed when she let them go. We're not seeing it yet in the men's semi-final.
They're using that plastic ball. The ball goes a lot straighter.
Well, a little bit of tactics here between these two bowlers. Eric Miles taking his time. He's trying to get back the concentration that he had in beating the Japanese.
What would be the tactics now of Miles? Does he start from scratch or does he keep going after Mayer?
Eric has to consolidate now. He has to throw good shots. That was a bit of bad luck, but he hit the thumb hole as the ball went down. As the ball rolled down the lane, it was rolling over the thumb hole. He didn't let it go properly. But he has to consolidate. He has to keep hitting the pocket. If he leaves 9, he has to take those and just keep hitting the pocket until they fall over.
Yes, good advice from Terry Wenban, and he should know. He's won the most tournament titles in Australia. He's covered the spare and stays 22 pins behind. 37 plays 59, both of them with spares working in the 4th. The loser of this match gets a cheque for $1,400. Of course, the winner goes on to bowl the top-seeded Tom Curry, and the winner of that match gets $3,000 and a trip with Qantas to bowl in the British 10-pin Open next September.
Good shot, good shot. He's got to keep hitting that pocket. If he can keep doing that, then Paul will be continually expecting him to strike and to have pressure put on him.
Yes, that's right. You were saying in the break there, Terry, that none of the bowlers have been hitting the pocket consistently, and that's what Eric needs to keep on doing. Plenty of strikes like that. Back with Paul Mayer now, top of the 5th.
He can't believe that. No luck, he says.
Well, he got the ball back into the pocket. It really is so important. You've got to keep hitting the pocket all the time. In these sort of one-game matches, if you keep hitting the pocket, you keep putting pressure on the other player because you've got to strike sooner or later.
Well, he's gone for this harder ball now to send it across these 42 boards in the lane. And a false start there for Paul. He's going to have to adjust his line because of some signage on the ball rack. Wonder if that affects his concentration. Let's have a look.
He'll be happy with that spare after hitting the sign on the side there. That's very off-putting. It's terrible.
Yes, those false starts don't do much for your heart.
He's hit that flush too, that pin. Never looked like missing.
Yes, he blew it away. Well, top of the 6th now for Paul Mayer. 21 pins ahead. 57 in the 4th for Eric Miles, 78 for Mayer.
That was a bit twice. 2 shots in a row. Bad luck for Paul. He needs to keep, as I keep saying, he needs to keep in the pocket, needs to keep striking. Eric's got a strike up. If he could have struck there, then Eric knows he has to go out and strike because he knows Paul's got one up.
Yes, a lot of tactics in this game, and that 6-pin not quite enough head of the pin onto the 10. Trouble.
Oh, he's missed it.
Well, let's have a look why he missed it.
Seemed to come up way behind his back there, and he pulled the ball to the left, which is a natural reaction under pressure. So Eric Miles now, it's all ahead of him. If he gets 1 strike and a 9 spare, the match is all tied up in the 6th frame. A double to take the lead.
The pins went down, and Eric went down also on his knees. That last pin just dropping.
Yes, the 6-pin was the one that did the damage to the 5-pin that time. And what a good reaction by Eric Miles. Well, let's see if
Shades of Bjorn Borg when he won Wimbledon.
Yes.
Yeah, down on his knees.
Well, this is a lot of money for 10-pin bowlers. This is the equivalent of Wimbledon in Australian 10-pin bowling. A strike to take the lead. It's all tied up. He needs a spare, and they're all square. 106 apiece in the 6th frame.
That shot there was a bit of a let-off for Paul. If Eric could have got another strike, Paul would have been in big trouble. There's Paul checking the scores.
Yes, and he knows that that was the situation. Eric Miles really needed to put a nail in the coffin there of Paul Mayer, but it didn't happen for him. He's got to cover the spare now.
No problems with that one.
You're watching the 1987 Goldpin Coca Cola Classic, and at the end of the 7th frame, it's all square. Even ball game.
Oh, good shot. He'll be happy with that result. Just blessing himself there.
Yes, well, that was a strike, and he's got the strike working now. He's got to capitalise on that strike. He's got to take a little bit of time now.
Yeah, he really should slow up a little bit here, take a lot more time, relax himself, get his composure, and put in a good, solid shot.
Well, that's your trick under pressure, Terry. I remember you quoted that to me once in a newspaper article, and, well, he's back with it now.
No, there's that light hit again.
Well, we saw Hira Carter in the match against Miles come up light on lane 15 a couple of times. Lanes were oiled a couple of matches ago, and obviously not finishing as much on that lane.
Yes, you see this quite often in games where someone needs to get a double. They get one, then they pull the next one. They get one, they pull the next one. A good spare.
Yes, it's really been a feature of this Coca-Cola Goldpin Classic Series this year. We've seen it in the women's division. We've seen it in the men's division. No one's really got away to a very good start in any of the games. The highest game we've had in the tournament so far is a 224, which is quite a modest score by championship standards, and that was by the New Zealander, Ian Hodson, who lost the very next match. Eric Miles, a strike to stay square.
Well, Steve, you know, there he was lucky. He was lucky not to get a split, and then he was unlucky not to get a strike.
So maybe in the end a fair result.
That was a fair result, yes.
Yeah, certainly. Really thumping the ball out in the lane now. He's really, I'm sorry, Terry, he's really keen to win this game, and he's just letting the situation get to him.
It's really different when they start to feel the pressure. They start to do all sorts of things. I can't emphasise it enough that what they're aiming at just looks like it's, well, a centimetre long. They aim at something, they just can't seem to hit it. They get frustrated, and then it all goes astray.
Well, Eric Miles hoping that he's going to emulate the feats of his South Australian compatriot, Jeanette Baker-Flynn, who won the women's final against Barb Richmond, a Queenslander. But he's got a little bit of work ahead of him yet. And he's making it harder for himself every time.
Yes, by not getting strikes here, he's going backwards. Because if Paul May gets a strike now, he's 3 pins in front.
Yes, you don't give a confidence player like Paul Mayer an inch, and at the moment Eric Miles is giving him a mile.
Well, he was happy with that one.
Yes, he was pleased when that one bit the dust. So Paul Mayer now, it's all ahead of him. He's going to finish the match off, and if he gets strikes in the next couple of shots, he's made it almost impossible for Eric Miles to win this semi-final. This one's a very important shot for Paul Mayer. Give him a 3-pin lead, but also give him a strike working into the 10th.
He's gone high again, thank God.
Well, we'll have... Oh, look at that. He was way behind his back under pressure then.
He bowled it slower. I thought that was going to be a good shot. I thought if he put it right, it would have come back. But he just pulled it.
2 pins the difference. Mayer ahead. Eric Miles contemplating the situation. And the situation is this. Paul Mayer is going to be the first to finish. He elected to do it that way as the higher seeded bowler. If he gets 3 strikes in a row, he has shut Eric Miles out of the match. He can make 195. Miles can make 193. They'll need 6 strikes out of the next 6 deliveries to do that. Do or die time for Paul Mayer, the captain of the Queensland team in the East Coast Challenge Cup. About to take the captain's knock.
And there's a hush over Kedron Bowl.
Well, I think that could be the end of the match, Steve.
Well, Eric Miles still has to stay clean. He's 2 pins behind. He can't afford to do anything silly like this one. Oh, that was never a chance. Didn't even look like it was going to break the split up either. He's got to go for this.
I see him saying to himself there, what a terrible shot.
So Paul Mayer finishes out with a total of 172. A disappointing finish for him. And now Eric Miles in the box seat.
Well, Eric Miles wants to do the same thing. Jeanette Baker-Flynn in the background there, willing him to a good shot. Eric Miles, what must be going through this man's mind? 36 years of age. His life's passing in front of him.
That's a good shot. He's got a nice safe spare to pick up. He shouldn't have any problems with this.
Well, he's got to get the spare, because if he misses this pin, he loses by a pin. Everything hinges on this shot. Well, Paul Mayer, a small respite there as he awaits his probable fate. And Eric Miles' hand now would be perspiring profusely.
And there it is.
Well, it's all tied up at the moment. Eric Miles has to stay behind the foul line and get at least 1 pin or more. And he's won the game. Should be a formality.
And Eric Miles is into the final. of the 87 Goldpin Coca Cola Classic.